Corruption is a crime. A person commits corruption when they take or give a bribe in exchange for them doing or not doing something that has to do with their official duties. Money, presents, bonus, service, position, salaries are all part of it. This is a serious issue that entails unethical behavior that impacts the economy and the integrity of the government. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) was established by the Malaysian government to keep track of and investigate corruption cases in both the public and private sector. New public management is a new management approach that established to promote administrative policy changes through the adoption of best practice from the private sector by improving performance, economy and productivity as well as accountability in both the administrative and financial areas in order to enhance customer service management. Since the idea of NPM was adopted, Malaysia's public management has undergone reform to become more moderative, effective and efficient. Financial management is connected to new public management and corruption. In terms of financial management, any government activity needs funding in order to be carried out. However, there are flaws in new public management that encourage corruption, although there have been numerous improvements made to governmental institutions. For example, since higher increase of management freedom has led to blur accountability.
The cause of corruption in Malaysia is the unethical behavior which shows no integrity among the civil servant. Acting with integrity means understanding, accepting and choosing to live in accordance with one's principle, which will include honesty, fairness and decency. An individual with integrity will continually display good morals by being free from corruption and hypocrisy. Corruption arises when an individual chooses to act against the purpose and obligations of their entrusted office to achieve personal gain or personal collective purpose. Integrity is a topic that is frequently brought up, and it might be stated that integrity is almost found while reading newspaper, magazine, books and other reading materials. Even everywhere, this topic is frequently discussed about the absence of integrity among the public employees, in the public and private sector and also among the politicians. According to the head Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), corruption among the civil servants is a result of a lack of integrity when having power. According to the statistic, roughly half of the total arrests made by MACC each year include civil servants. Integrity is destroyed by corruption, making the rising number of civil servant arrests quite concerning. Corruption can result in damage to buildings, bridges and roadways. Civil servants who are too concerned with money and image are willing to commit corruption to get a luxurious life that is beyond their means. They will find a way to earn higher incomes through corruption to cover a lavish lifestyle that cannot be covered by their real income. Furthermore, the cause of corruption is the lack of transparency and accountability. Transparency is the practice of being open and honest with others, no matter how challenging it might be. In politics, transparency is used as means of holding public officials accountable and fighting corruption. When a government's meetings are open to the press and the public, its budgets may be reviewed by anyone and its laws and decisions are open to discussion. It is seen as transparent. Transparency is a crucial element that is able to improve financial system stability. Transparency serves to achieve accountability, which enables authorities to be held responsible for their action. Accountability is the acceptance of responsibility for one's own action. It implies a willingness to be transparent, allowing others to observe and evaluate one's performance. The lack of transparency and accountability by people in position of influence and power is like a virus that has infected every aspect of Malaysians' life. The issue of transparency and accountability is getting serious when some of the politicians and civil servants choose to hide the fact that corruption happens in their organization. Some politicians and civil servants are frequently involved in falsifying the information and the data of financial accounts.
Corruption is a serious issue that needs to be settled down. It brings so many effects and implications. The first implications can be highlighted is it can ruin public sector reputation. Corruption probably has an impact on how productive public employees are who work for Malaysian government ministry. They are now required to act transparently with integrity and in other ways. However, Figure from the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) show that 46.3% of the 4,860 people detained between 2014 and 2019 were public workers for political corruption offence. For example, in Sabah State Water Department's Jan's corruption case. This issue will gradually reduce the output quality of the public agency. Additionally, it can make new public management (NPM) less effective in the public sector since people might stop trusting the way the government runs the country. The second implication is economic downturn of the country. Corruption indirectly reduces the confidence of investors both domestically and abroad to invest in our country. This is because the country's administrative system is a mess, causing investment rules and regulations are not implemented efficiently and clearly. This in turn causes the shortage of foreign investors in our country and affects the national economy and makes the economy unstable. With this, it leads to the issue of unemployment when investors stop investing. This affects the lives of the people in country and makes people cannot live in good conditions if the economy worsens. Moreover, corrupt practices cause economic instability which will make Malaysian made products not competitive with foreign made products because they lack of confidence. In order to eradicate this corruption issue, there are so many ways and recommendations that can be done. The first recommendation is to establish effective and ethical leadership. An effective leadership was able to develop a good organizational culture, boost motivation, clarify purpose and organizational goals, and lead organizations in the proper direction in order to establish effective and ethical leadership. When a leader leads with integrity and justice while modeling excellent behavior, they are demonstrating ethical leadership. Therefore, if an organization has a leader who upholds moral principles and employs effective leadership techniques, corruption can be gradually eliminated. Because a person's method of leading others can greatly influence an organization's level of success. For instance, the 1MDB corruption controversy involving the former Prime Minister Najib Razak may serve as a poor leadership example for other government departments and agencies. The second recommendations can be done is by using the media as a tool against corruption. There are numerous practical ways that the media may help to reduce corruption. The most prominent of these is when dishonest public officials or bureaucrats are removed from office accused of wrongdoing. Reporting, for instance, may cause official investigations into the charges of corruption to be opened by public organizations. News reports also publish the result of public anti-corruption organizations, so enhancing the credibility of these organizations and limiting the ability of powerful interests to influence their work.
In conclusion, the majority of Malaysians are aware that corruption is a serious issue and a terrible crime that has an impact on many sectors of this nation, particularly the financial one. It is also recognized that new public management (NPM) has helped bring about administrative adjustments that have improved the effectiveness and efficiency of the public sector. However, some NPM reforms and concepts have encouraged corruption among the public sector employees. Since NPM has some flaws, it is crucial to determine the root causes, conditions and remedies of corruption in the public sector. Along with that, the government has to put an effort more on finding systematic ways to reduce the corruption in this country.